And there are growing concerns to support community media to ensure improved sustainability. This comes as the country observes a Media Freedom Week. The institution claims the community media has faced numerous challenges, including a lack of support from key stakeholders and insufficient revenue. To discuss this further, we're joined by Muzuvukile Kashe from the Media Development and Diversity Agency, in short, the MDDA. Mzu, good afternoon and thank you so much for your time. As we observe Media Freedom Week, what is the significance of it if we're still struggling with sustainability in the community media sector?
Yeah, no, good afternoon, Cindy, and good afternoon to the eNCA viewers. Look, as we celebrate media freedom, I think we need to obviously reflect on what we've gone through as a country. In terms of, South African history is out there in terms of what has happened pre-1994, how different voices have always been suppressed, and therefore there was a lot of gaps in terms of dissemination of information. And I think we've made stride as a country. If you are saying 30 years down the line, you've got so many voices. We've promoted different democratic values. Everyone, different platforms. We've got vibrant social media. We've got, different communication platforms. So I think we should be really proud of what we have done as a country. Yeah,
but isn't it saturated, particularly if you take the monopoly of the South African Broadcast Corporation, multi-choice, that the community media struggles to survive primarily because the content is readily available even for the big players?
Not necessarily. I remember in our Broadcasting Act, we've got 3-tier broadcasting system. We've got your commercial, we've got your public broadcast, and then we have community media. And I think all of them should coexist. And obviously that they serve different constituencies. A community media, for example, will have a content in the language of their choice, in a dialect, in a specific area. So I think everyone has got their own niche. I know that there is a misleading discussion that community media should at one stage be converted. They always say the successful community media organization should be then transformed into commercial. There's no such regulatory framework. So I think everyone has got their own niche. I think we've got different constituencies, and I think all of them could coexist. I know where I used to work, we used to promote this a system where if we are to advertise, we would use all different platforms, from commercial, public broadcast, and community media. So I think, for me, I don't think that there is necessarily a stifling.
Okay, let's talk about sustainability, the running of the community channels as well, the lack of revenue, and why is it they're not able to attract the skilled talent, for example, and also make themselves more appealing to advertisers?
Look, there are obviously an array of challenges. We've just done a sustainability research, which was obviously just to get the key obstacles that obviously prevent community media for them to be sustainable. One of them, correctly so, is the issue of them attracting advertising. One of them is an issue of high staff turnover. Remember, they're in a community media because there's this voluntarism. People come in and volunteer, so they come and go. So once we have that, there's obvious instability and the issue of credibility. So you have that challenge. And then another issue that we have raised is an issue of, there are some issues of governance within the community media, issue of governance, board that are there, there's just differences. And then most importantly, the issue of skills. Because if you are to ensure that you are sustainable, there are 3 important things for sustainable. We always say at high level is the issue of skills. If you don't have the requisite skill for you to go and look for advertisement or make sure you've got relevant content, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, but these were also conduits to some extent of feeding through very quality talent through community media or even campus radio, for example, that had produced that quality of talent. What has gone wrong? And I don't want to mention the pockets of excellence in community media per se, but they had been a conduit of feeding to the mainstream media.
No, certainly, they still continue to be. Remember, what we do, community media would always been a feeder to public broadcaster, to commercial media. It's still the case. But the problem is that you have good people that are in community media, and now they leave a vacuum when they go to these different commercial or public broadcasts. They leave a vacuum, they leave space, and they go because there's not enough incentive to retain them in that space. Oh, yeah. So you always have a problem but certainly there are many of them. I mean, we count them. There are many of them that have left community media, and today they are running, I mean, various different and high quality shows in different platforms.
Yes, but we can't talk about sustainability of community media and expect stakeholders in the public-private partnerships when the community media themselves fail to manage their affairs. In other words, not being able to even pay the signal distributor Centec just for using the signal. You know, those are red flags if you're running a business and you're not able to manage your finances.
No, Cindy, that's a very difficult one. And again, that is one of the findings that, you know, we've got high signal distribution costs. And that's from the community radio side, and from the printer side. Print side is high printing and distribution. But just come to that. You know, some of them really do try to pay that, but you know, there's the issue of affordability. You've got one community radio station in a secluded area. There's no economic opportunities. They can't get advertising revenue. How are they going to pay signal distribution fees? So you've got those challenges. So I don't think that it's intentional for them not to pay. I just think sometimes there's the issue of affordability, and obviously, you know, signal distribution players, for example, like Centec, also, they need to recover their costs. So it's not like they can do this for free. So you always have that challenge of whether they are able to afford, and obviously the services must also be, you know, be transmitted. So I think that's a debate that will take the whole day.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you indeed for your time. Mzu is from the Media Diversity, or rather Media Development and Diversity Agency, MDDA, talking to us about their research in conducting sustainability of community media channels.